Just over 4 months ago, on a late Tuesday night, I was on Facebook Marketplace and I came across a beautiful 2004 Subaru STi that needed a little bit of love. It was a few hundred miles away, so Bobby and I, my wife and I, hopped on an airplane, flew down to Boise, bought the car, fixed the car in the O'Reilly's parking lot, and drove it all the way home. I told you guys in the future I would build it and give it away to one of you boys. Well, that day is finally here. Behind the garage door is the newest giveaway car. Let's check this thing out. This, my friends, is my 2004 Java Black Pearl Subaru WRX STi that I'm going to be building and giving away to one of you guys. Before we head on out to the shop, let's do a quick walk around. Everything that this car needs and some of the stuff it doesn't need, but it's going to get anyway. So, starting with the body, I'll probably buy a new bumper for the car. It is cracked. I could fix the crack and repaint the bumper, but it also has these, in my opinion, ugly quick releases. So I'm gonna put a new bumper on it, obviously paint it. We gotta fix the headlights. The hood scoop needs to be repainted. Entire car desperately needs a polish. This rear wing also needs paint. I want this thing perfect, so I'm gonna repaint the rear bumper as well, as it is a little bit scuffed up right here. And this quarter panel was pushed in. Now, thankfully, I sent photos to my paintless dent repair guy. He can thankfully get the quarter panel fixed, so I don't have to do any actual serious body work on the car. The OEM 04 STi BBS 5100 rear wheel is damaged, so I want to get that fixed. She's gonna need some window tint, some plastic trim repair, and the interior is going to need some love as well. Now, you guys already know I don't leave my cars factory. I don't leave them stock. So this engine bay, when it's all said and done, is going to be looking completely different. I always tell myself with the giveaway builds, I'm not gonna get super crazy with them. But historically, I've never been able to avoid just doing a lot of extra work. This car runs phenomenal as it is. Of course, it will get a bigger turbo. It's gonna get some intercooler work, fuel system work, and a tune, and make probably 450, 500 horsepower to the tires. I'm gonna try my very best to not pull the engine and touch it and build it. I don't want to build the engine. Like I said, it runs perfect as is, so I don't see a sense in fixing something that isn't broken. Now, I want you watching to be very involved with this giveaway. So throughout the duration of this build and this giveaway, I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. I need you guys to comment in the comment section below to help me out which direction to go with this build. Now, the giveaway is not starting for a few days. I want to put in some work, get this thing all cleaned up as best as possible. Regardless, let's head on out to the shop and get started working on the 04 Subaru STi. And of course, the battery's dead. Perfect timing, because I would like to introduce to you guys the sponsor of today's video, which is Wolfbox. This, my friends, is their new Megavolt 24 air multifunction jump box. This is a 4-in-1 jump starter with air compressor tire inflator, which is exactly what we need, because that thing is as dead as could be. You guys will see later on what's going on with that car and why the battery keeps dying. This is the small, compact thing you hope you'll never need, but when you do need it, it sure comes in handy. It features 2 start modes, standard and boost, and supplies up to 40 jump starts on a full charge. Now, I love how not only is this a jump pack, but it's also a tire inflator. Combining the 2 biggest pain points in life into one unit is a huge plus. This can inflate your car tire from completely empty to full in 40 seconds. And they also include all the adapters, say if you need to air up a basketball or some other random thing around the house, you have the adapter for it. This thing is built to withstand all temperatures from -4 degrees all the way up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Another super neat feature is the 65-watt USB-C and regular USB charging port. If we're out camping and my phone dies, I can simply plug it into the jump box and we're good to go. This is more than just a jump box. This is a legit emergency device. If you'd like to pick up the Megavolt 24 for yourself, hit the link below and use my code on the screen. Huge thank you to Wolfbox for sponsoring today's video. Now let's head out to the shop. All right, we got the car in the shop. The first thing I need to figure out and get sorted out as soon as possible is figuring out why the taillights are always on. Even with the car off, lights off, taillights are always on. Car's turned off, ignition's off, keys out, lights are still on. Most common culprit would be the switch right here. That is not the case with this car. So the red wire right here, red and yellow, has 12 volts no matter what. So I hopped on the phone with my buddy Nick. Y'all know Nick, the wiring expert, did some diagnosing. The problem wasn't that the switch was on, the switch itself is actually faulty. We have a bad switch. So I pulled the switch off of the steering column, and now key is out, lights are off, and as you can see, the bulbs are no longer illuminated. Good to go. All we need now is a new switch. I just picked up this new used switch for 20 bucks. Let's get her swapped out. Hopefully this fixes the problem. You know what? I know it's going to. I know that's the issue. Let's get her swapped. Switch is replaced, switch is currently clicked on, taillights are on, switch is off, taillights are still on. I don't understand. When the switch is disconnected, the lights are off.
Fine, which is...
There's a potential it's backfeeding through the headlights, so I'm gonna go ahead, pull the headlights off and get them disconnected. Unfortunately, you can't just disconnect them. From what I can see, you actually gotta pull them off. Progress. I'll try to make this quick and simple. So the 20 amp fuse right here, fuse 7, supplies power to the relay for the taillights, and some other stuff on the inside is built in to that fuse box there. So what Nick thinks is that is a sticking relay going on inside the fuse box. Fuse box is very easy to replace, thankfully. I pulled out the fuse, put it back in, and now everything is working like it should. So I'm gonna go ahead, reassemble. I'm gonna drive the car a bit. If it keeps acting up, we'll put a fuse box on it. They're very, very cheap, thankfully, as well. And like I said, easy to replace. And if it doesn't act up, well, it was sticking momentarily and now it's good. Okay, that problem is resolved. Now it may happen again, and if it does, we simply need to put a new internal relay in it, which means replacing the fuse box. Again, not a big deal. You can get them used online for like 20 bucks. So it's not a very common problem. Surprised it's happening on this car, but it's all good. We got it figured out. I want to focus my attention on trying to get all the parts and pieces and maintenance ordered up for this car that we need to get. She does have 120,000 miles, so at minimum, I know it's gonna need a timing belt kit. I already have that on order. From what I'm told, it has a fresh clutch in it. I need to verify that. But if we just pop in the engine bay, it's missing just random stuff. The battery tie down, so the battery's all loose and floppy. The OEM alternator cover, that thing is missing. Odds and ends like that, the car is desperately needing. I'm gonna focus my attention right now on this filthy engine bay. This thing sat for a very long time, so let's do our best and get her cleaned up. It's a lot better than what it was, still definitely needs quite a bit of love, most specifically that intake manifold. A lot of that OEM factory red paint that looks so beautiful when it's fresh has flaked off, and it kind of ruins the aesthetic of the engine bay. Next up, I'm gonna go through, just give the outside a good solid wash, get the wheels cleaned up as best as possible. I really wanna just get a good base to build from. Now this paint is in horrendous condition. It is Java Black Pearl, but you can't tell because it's in such bad shape. I'm not gonna polish it today, but what I do wanna do is go through with some clay and try to get all the gunk off the paint. She is starting to come back to life, looking much, much better until you get up close. Man, oh man, this paint needs some serious love. Let's move on to the inside. I know at minimum, she's gonna need some carpet. Of course, a floor mat will cover all of that, but I'd rather do it right. Nonetheless, let's get this interior cleaned up and see what else it's gonna need. Interior wise, she doesn't need much. Spare tires missing, the wood, the carpet. There was a bunch of gravel in there. I don't know if one of the previous owners was hauling gravel with this car. Kind of appeared that way. Thankfully, the trunk side carpets are in great shape. In the back, all it needs is a new set of floor mats. It had floor mats, but they're kind of crusty. Up front, of course, carpet. The seat is a little bit torn up, so I'm gonna see if we can get that fixed. Floor mats up front as well. Steering wheel is a bit hammered, so I wanna get that fixed. Headlighter needs to be cleaned. Other than that, it's in good shape. And the entire dash just needs a good cleaning as well. I may swap out the Kenwood or the Pioneer radio to one of the iDoing units. Minor details, we can deal with that later on. Somehow, I'm gonna go through and refinish this bezel. It's an important bezel, in my opinion. It is very, very crusty looking. Starting to get a good base, good idea of everything it needs. One thing I'm dying to do is polish this paint. I'll show you guys how nice this color is. Grab a little wax and grease remover, toss it on the paint. That is the color of this paint when it's fully polished. It looks so good. It is one of the best colors ever made. Now everybody knows you can't be running somebody else's decals or stickers on your car. So the next thing I need to do is go through and blade all of these stickers off. There's a lot of them. This one's a bit sketchy. The rear glass on this car, of course, has all the heater or the defroster lines in it. This sticker is very, very cracked up. I doubt it's gonna just peel off, but we gotta get that off somehow. So the goal today was to just get a good list of everything that this car needs. I have a whole entire list of all the mods I want to do to this car on my phone, all the maintenance stuff it needs. It's getting up there. I told myself I wouldn't fix anything on the car today, but there is one thing that is just driving me up a freaking wall, and that is the headlights. Man, oh man. The paint is crusty. I think the headlights are worse. Thankfully, we can fix the headlights here without doing any sort of paint work. So let's go ahead and bust out the Cerakote Headlight Restoration Kit. This here is a 3-step process. Very, very easy to do. Takes about, I would say, 15 minutes per headlight to make them literally brand new looking once again. And of course, the best part, in my opinion, about all of these Cerakote products is that all of their stuff is made in the USA, actually pretty close to home. I'm up in Spokane. They're down in Oregon. That is where all of this product is made. So step 1 is going to be the oxidation remover. Step 2, we sand the headlight down with the provided sandpaper. I believe it's 2000 and then 3000 grit. Step 3 is where the magic happens. It is the ceramic based wipe on clear coat. Now look, it's not perfect. We got 20 something years of that HID low beam kind of like melting or oxidizing the inside of the lens, so we can't get to that. But are you ready for a before and after? So here we have a before. That's what the headlight used to look like. There it is now. That's a pretty drastic difference. All thanks to the Cerakote headlight kit. Now check this out. Read the back. Guaranteed to restore your headlights to like new condition and last as long as you own the vehicle, or you'll get a refund. That's a pretty good guarantee. Definite solid progress on the headlights. This one is not as nice as that one. Now these headlights were definitely opened up at some point in their life. OEM headlights have amber right there and right there, which I think looks kind of nice on the black with the OEM STi BBSs. I was about to order new OEM headlights. The only place I found them available, they're $1,200 a pop. $2,400 in headlights just to get some amber back in them is no bueno. Nonetheless, I'm gonna go on a nice little cruise in this car now that it's somewhat cleaned up and just enjoy it. So enjoy the Subaru rumble coming from the Tomei exhaust. Love Tomei exhaust, not just on Subarus, but on everything. And in my opinion, kind of sounds like butt. It's so loud, and just like raspy, and I don't know. I've never been a fan of Tomei. I've tried to go to Tomei on Evo 10s, Evo 8s, on Subarus. I've never been a big fan. But then again, I used to hate TE37s, and now I run TEs on everything. So maybe, just maybe, my perspective will change. But as of right now, my go-to exhaust on all the cars